Welcome to The Renewed Mind, the podcast where we explore the world of biblical counseling and bridge the gap to a more holistic understanding of how scripture, psychology, and counseling intersect. The Renewed Mind is here to provide insightful discussions, interviews, and transformative ideas that align with the wisdom of scripture. And now your host of the Renewed Mind podcast, Dr. Luther Smith.
Hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are and whatever you are doing. This is not the Renewed Mind podcast, but I'm still your host, Dr. Luther Smith, and I want to thank you for tuning in to this video. This is going to be a short video telling you guys we've been, where we are, and where we're going concerning not just the Renewed Mind podcast, but things I want to accomplish for this year. I'm looking forward to 2026. So first of all, I want to thank everybody who has been involved in this project. I have met so many interesting people. I've got to interact with so many wonderful, genuine individuals that have made this podcast what it is. And this podcast would not be half as interesting if I didn't have individuals behind the scenes who, since the beginning and even now, have been working and just making it very palatable and very relatable. And I just want to thank you for that. For those who have been around since the beginning, Madeline, I know that she was a part of it for a time, but she was a seminal part of making sure that this podcast got off the ground. And I just enjoy my interaction with her. And I will always be grateful for the time that she was on this podcast and contributing her thoughts and her insights. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I want to give my shout outs to that for Madeline and for the editor at the beginning who started off with us. And she kind of left shortly after Madeline did, but she was the one that created the titles and things at the beginning and at the end. And she was just a wonderful, wonderful person, wonderful asset. She knows who she is. And so I want to thank her for that as well. I also want to thank the interviewees that I had the privilege of asking questions and asking them about their perspective concerning counseling and psychology and things like that. Individuals like Karen Gannon, who was just a wonderful, wonderful woman. Amber Genter, who was just a fantastic resource and a wonderful, wonderful woman as well. From Katie Dale, talking about bipolar and her passion, and just a whole bunch of hosts of other interviewees as well. I just thank you so much just for their participation and just for their interaction on the Renew Mind podcast. It definitely added an extra layer of spice to the podcast as well. And I thank you for that and thank them for that as well. And for you, the viewer, for those of you guys who have been listening on Spotify, who have been watching on YouTube and Rumble, and for those of you guys who've been interacting online and just by email and stuff like that. It's for you guys that I do this stuff. You know, our mission here on the Renewed Mind is really to offer an alternative to counseling biblically and keeping it biblical, not necessarily theological, although theology does undergird the biblicism, but to really look at the words in their plain sense, look at them in relation to the context, and try to understand the nature and substance of humanity from the scriptures itself, and to really take that understanding and have it influence our counseling and the way that we observe humanity. And I think it's just been an awesome, awesome thing. As a matter of fact, I'd like to bring this up just real quickly here. This was shared to me on my Facebook page. Let me throw this up on the screen here. This is an individual who goes by the name of the Potato Underground. He has a website here. His name is Paul. They write this. They go, as someone who has gone through all of that and leaving a cult and having researched on trauma, I do see a connection between those things, though I do not know that I would come to all of those same conclusions. It looks a bit oversimplified and a bit chat GPT-ish. A good one that is a good resource or good researcher to ask would be Dr. Luther Smith. He has really good things to say about scripture and the biblical worldview of counseling and psychology. His podcast on spiritual abuse is very helpful. This was episode 27, Religious Abuse and Counseling Biblically. It's probably one of the sobering ones that I've done, and one of my favorite ones to research on and how to observe this from a biblical perspective. And I really, really appreciate Juan and Alice Costa for their remarks and for their comments. This is the reason why I do this, to give further insights on individuals who are looking for a more nuanced view of biblical counseling. So I want to thank again Juan and Alice Costa again for contributing to just the flavor of the podcast as well, and that they found that to be helpful in terms of what they were looking for and some of the comments that I made concerning religious abuse. And there have been other people that have stumbled across the podcast or the YouTube channel or the Rumble channel, and they have just enjoyed some of the information that has been brought to their attention concerning certain things in the biblical perspective. And really, that's what this podcast exists for. And so I really, really thank you guys for really interacting and listening whenever possible and passing that along. A couple of things I wanted to discuss before I let this kind of run its course. There are resources and things that I have written, books that I have written, resources that I have not gotten a chance to share with you. And some part of that is purposeful because I know that there's a lot of people that are trying to hawk their wares. And so I really want to avoid being that guy that always has an advertisement in every video, hawking something or something else or other. But I also understand too that there are individuals that really, really want some of these resources. If you can't get it if I don't tell you. So this year, I'm really going to start to let you guys know what resources I have, what resources I'm working on, where you can get them, how much they cost for you guys. So if you ever wanted to have extra resources at your disposal, you would be able to pick those up and obtain those resources if you so choose to. I'm also going to create a supportive tier. I know that I don't have a lot of followers yet, but I would like to begin to start to think about ways if you would like to support what I'm doing. You don't have to. I certainly don't push that. But if you would like to do that, if you would like to support me, I will be talking and building something on that rather shortly. So you'll have the resources, which you can buy at a nominal cost. And I'll let you guys know that throughout the year of all of the resources that I have available. You can get them on Amazon. And then at the same time, if you would like to support me, that is coming up soon, shortly. So I will be kind of moving in that direction as well, looking for individuals who would like to support me if they would like to, so that I can continue to keep making content and also continue to keep growing in my area of doing content online, which I appreciate and I enjoy. Anyway, so there's that. So also too, looking again towards the future and kind of thinking about what I want to do. I've been working on a couple of projects. Some of them are counseling related, some of them are not. You're going to get those here as well. So I'll be letting you know about updates to certain projects I'm doing, things that I'm kind of working on, and hopefully that would help garner some interest. And one final thing, I know that I've been very consistent on teaching and really kind of instructing concerning counseling, psychology, and the biblical perspective. But one of the things I really want to lean in and lean towards is articles. I have not really examined articles from a biblical worldview as often as I would like to because I've been too busy building the philosophical base for this particular position that I am talking about all the time. So next year, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be focusing on looking at psychological articles, things like that, possibly videos. I'm still going to be doing the same thing I'm doing now with looking at disorders and abnormalities and things like that. And we will continue to do that and kind of progress in each area. But at the same time, too, I also want to look at articles and things like that because there's some interesting things that are coming out that are garnering my attention, and I want to address those from a biblical perspective and perhaps give you some insight on some things that are coming up within the culture as well. So I'd really like to talk about those and explore those from this particular angle in this area. Yeah, so I'll be looking at more articles. Of course, I'm going to be looking for individuals to interview. Those interviews, I love doing them. And so that will be continuing as well. And so, yeah, I'm looking really forward to those things also. Again, thank you guys so much for listening and being a part of what I'm building here. I really, really, really appreciate all of you guys. And I don't ever want to forget that you guys are the reason why I'm recording this, that you guys make the program. If you have any suggestions or anything else that you would like me to cover, you can email me at therenewedmindpodcast@gmail.com. That is therenewedmindpodcast@gmail.com. You can connect with me on Facebook, and my personal Facebook on Luther Smith at Facebook, or you can reach me at The Renewed Mind on Facebook. That is THERE hyphen NYOO hyphen ED mind on Facebook. You can also reach me on X. If you are a connoisseur of X, you can reach me there on X at the Mind. You can also click into our TikTok and our Instagram. We've got those too at the Renewed Mind Podcast. That is at the Renewed Mind Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Lord's Book. So reach out to me there if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like me to cover, any topics that you would like to talk about or like me to explore. I would be more than happy to take those into consideration. Well, that's going to be all. New episodes will start next week. The newest one is on January 8th. And so I look forward to new episodes from then on for 2026 on January 8th. Again, thank you so much for just your support and your continued patronage. And I look forward to walking through more subjects of counseling and psychology and counseling biblically 2026. Thank you. Take care. Grace and peace. Okay. Bye-bye.